welcome to my channel. My name is Brianne Beebe. I'm a high school math teacher. I've been teaching for 7 years now, and I'm a new mom. I'm a paid teachers author. I am a blogger, sort of. I don't really consider myself a blogger, but I have a blog. And I have a YouTube channel, obviously, because here we are. So a question that I've been asked a few times, and honestly I'm a little bit disturbed by it, but the question I've been getting is, how do you do it all? And short answer is, I don't. At least I feel like I don't. And it looks like I do, because I'm putting out content and teaching. I'm doing the things that I want to do and the things that I need to do. So I understand why people think I do it all. But I really feel like I don't. So I essentially just wanted to share some of my tips for time management to be able to work in these things that I enjoy, like YouTube and blogging and Teachers Pay Teachers. So first of all, I give myself grace. There are 2 things that I tell myself just to kind of keep me calm. I'm kind of an anxious person. I equate productivity to happiness, which is a whole issue. Don't do that, that's bad. But 2 things that I tell myself. The first one is, it will get done when it needs to be done. And that one really applies to school. There are endless tasks, and I could spend all day working on the things I have to do for school and still not be done. So I just kind of remind myself, as long as I am ready to go for tomorrow or whenever the next lesson is, because I'm recording this on spring break, I'm fine and my students will be fine. The other thing I tell myself is that I can do it all, but I cannot do it all at once. And that came from a book that I read by Bethany Frankel, and it's called Naturally Thin, and it helps you kind of change your mindset around food essentially. And the name of the chapter, or the takeaway from one of the chapters, was, you can eat it all, but not all at once. Or it was, you can have it all, but not all at once. I forget which, but essentially what she's saying is, there are so many great foods out there and we like them all, but the thing is, you're not going to eat them all in one sitting. So it was kind of about just knowing that, you know, maybe today we're going to skip the macaroni and cheese, but it still exists. Like, you'll still be able to have it in the future. You just don't need it after you've had the cheeseburger and the chocolate milkshake and whatever else. So as far as doing the things go, I just know that I'm not going to be able to do everything in one day, and I just need to give myself time to basically take care of whatever it is I'm doing. And I just need to give myself time. Eventually, I will get the things done I want to do. It's just, it might not be in the time frame that I want. Another thing that I do is prioritize. Taking care of my family, being a mom, those are my top priorities. They're the first things that will happen. Teaching is my second priority. It's my profession and I love it. So luckily, when I'm at school, I'm able to focus on school. I actually had a kid, I forget what they asked me, but they were expecting me to say something about my family, and I was like, well, no, I'm not thinking about my family right now. I'm at school. I compartmentalize very well, I guess. I don't know. But while I'm at school, I am so focused on school. And my goal is to get all of the stuff done for school at school. My goal is to not bring anything home from school. The only time that I have work from school happening at home is when I couldn't finish it at school, which happens a lot more in the first half of the year than the second half. When it comes to YouTube and blogging and Teachers Pay Teachers, those are like my third priorities. So they come after everything else. So I'm going to primarily explain how I do those things. First of all, my son is now 9 months old. He's not a newborn anymore. So when he takes naps, they're more expected, and I'm able to do things while he's taking a nap. So when he was a newborn, I was doing things when he was napping, but really I should have been sleeping. Now he's almost kind of sort of sleeping through the night. It really depends. But if he's sleeping through the night and I'm sleeping through the night, I don't need rest during the day. So while he's napping, I can do whatever it is that I want to do. My husband is a musician, so with his free time, what he likes to do is practice and play his saxophone. So we kind of trade off and we each take turns, because sometimes we just need like that time to ourselves. So he'll practice and I'll stay with Russell, and sometimes I'll be doing my thing, whatever it is going to be for that day, and he'll be with Russell. So for right now, he's actually with Russell, who should be taking a nap, but for some reason it's wide awake right now. So when it comes to pursuing my passions, I have a lot of different interests, and I'm constantly getting new ideas for products for Teachers Pay Teachers or videos to do for YouTube. But again, I cannot do them all at once. So I make a list. And honestly, I'm keeping lists in like 4 different places and I need to just sync them all together. But what I like to do is when I have a lot on my mind, just make this like massive brain dump. Just take one piece of paper and write down everything that I can possibly think of. So once I have my brain dump completed, I will take a few highlighters and categorize all my different ideas. So I'll take everything for Teachers Pay Teachers and highlight that in green. Everything for my blog, I'd highlight in pink. Everything for YouTube in blue. I'm also working on integrating Pinterest and putting an email list together, and so I'll break it down into the different categories. And then what I've done was actually make little sub to-do lists in my planner for these different categories. I will link this in the description box below, but Casey Morris did this amazing podcast episode on mind mapping, and it sounds fantastic and I would love to try it, but the problem is I am such a perfectionist, and she essentially gets the big post-it note like easel paper and puts that up all around her office. But being a perfectionist, I would waste all those papers and they're expensive. So I don't do it that way, like how she describes. But if you want a better picture of what she does, listen to the podcast episode. What I do instead is take the lists that I've created from my mind map and take lined post-its, and I will give myself a deadline and just list like 5 tasks to do from the bigger list. And I put the post-it notes actually behind me on this bulletin board, so I have it there in front of me. I know what I'm doing, I know what my deadline is, and I can see it every day. And when I am able to sit down and do work, that's what I'm working on, is whatever is on my post-it note that I have time for. I might get an hour, I might get 2, I might get 15 minutes. So I just pick a task and work on that. So that's essentially how I do it all, or do the things that I enjoy and love. I prioritize my roles as a person, being a mom, a teacher, an entrepreneur. I focus my time, I do a massive brain dump, and then I break down the tasks, and I set little deadlines for myself, and I'm always giving myself grace that I might not get those things done when I want to, but I at least have this deadline in mind. So I hope this video was helpful for anyone trying to manage doing a lot of different things. So if you have any questions or requests for future videos, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.